is Sky Sports Live.
Welcome to the Don Valley Stadium in Sheffield, where today almost 2,000 of the most talented teenage athletes in England compete to be crowned the 2009 English Schools Champions. Now in its 84th year of existence, this championship is at the very heart of creating the next generation of British athletes. Hello and welcome to the Aviva English Schools Track and Field Athletics Championships, live from the Don Valley Stadium here in Sheffield. Now, over the years, this stadium has staged some memorable athletics meets, and if you want more intense athletics where the result absolutely matters to every single one of the athletes competing, well, look no further than the English Schools Championships, where we have the finest young talent from across the country competing head-to-head for the next 4 hours. We really do have a busy programme ahead of us. Some 34 events in total will feature in our programme. But just before we dive into the timetable of events, let me just describe how the age groups work here at the English Schools Championships. For both men and women, there are 3 age groups, junior, intermediate and senior. They're all based around the school years, but basically the junior age group is for under 15s, the intermediate age group under 17s, and the senior age group under 19. So that's how the age groups work. Let's have a look at the timetable of events now coming up. Good range of events across the schedule, and starting with the track action. Well, one or two highlights should include, looking down the card, 2:35 100 metres junior boys. Looks like an incredibly close affair, contested between any of at least 6 leading athletes. 1 minute past 3, 300 metres intermediate girls. 8 of the top 10 ranked girls in the UK this year are entered, with just 1 second covering all of these athletes. 3:25 200 metres intermediate boys. Again, another incredibly close race on paper, with Liam Clowes, Nathan Greenway and Akin Akintoken starting as slight favourites. 12 minutes past 4, 200 metres senior boys. The top 3 in the country line up against each other in this one, and we can expect some super quick times based on their performances so far this year. 5:15 4x100 metre relay junior girls starts a series of sprint relays that completes the track programme. These relays at the schools championships, always exciting stuff. Now, moving to the field events, 5 events in total featured, including at 2:15 the final of the junior boys high jump. Farron Sayers from West Midlands could even threaten the championship best performance here of 1 metre and 96. So it really is a full-on afternoon of track and field athletics here at the English Schools Championships. And I'm delighted to say I'm joined by 2 former Olympic champions to cast an expert eye over it all. A double Olympic champion, Kelly Holmes, and also from those same 2004 Athens Games, a man who was part of the 4x100 metre relay team, Jason Gardner. Great to see you here. Just before we talk, I just want to remind you of your illustrious English Schools career. I've done my research. Kelly, you were twice English Schools champion of 1500 metres, 1983 and 87. And Jason, your best was a bronze in the 100 metres back in 1993. So well done all those years ago. Kelly, memories from English Schools?
I thought it was brilliant. I absolutely did. I won my first one when I was 13, 1500 metres. The atmosphere was crazy. The competition was hard, but it was brilliant. And it certainly was a stepping stone for my junior international career and then on to seniors.
Jason?
Well, my first introduction to the English Schools Championships was a little bit different to Kelly's. I came here full of expectation, believing I was one of the best kids in the country and was looking for a podium finish. But I was devastated not to make the final. I came 6th in the semi-final. But I vowed that I would go home, I'll return, train really harder and get back on that rostrum. And that bronze was like a gold to me at the time.
Well, it certainly worked for you both. Now, Kelly, just put this event into context. Over the years, how important for British athletics has this event been?
I think it's been very important. I mean, a lot of our champions that become seniors were also English school medalists or champions themselves. What I think the English schools can enable athletics to do is really hit the grassroots, but at a good level. So we're seeing youngsters here that in the future, we're seeing the British team. If you look at the top end, the under 19s and 17s, some of those are already running junior international level. So the calibre is high. The important thing that they learn here, though, is going through the rounds like heats, semi-finals, finals, running for your county, being in a team event, coming away from home for the first time to a big event. So it's actually a good stepping stone, I think, and it certainly fits very well into the new Aviva Academy, where they're putting all the grassroots sports together, like Sports Hall, Star Track. There now seems a system in place where you can have an expectation to go to the next bigger thing.
And Jason, just expand on that. How intense is the experience in terms of competing at these English Schools Championships for the athletes?
Well, this Aviva English Schools Championships is extremely intense. I mean, most of these athletes will have competed, in their school playgrounds, sports days. Some of them will belong to clubs, but it's a total different experience, which basically sets them up for going on and competing, maybe for Team GB in Olympic Games. Your athletes will have to deal with mix zones, having their bags checked, travelling with a squad. Is really, key lessons are going to be learned, which hopefully will set up the future athletes of tomorrow.
Jason, Kelly, thanks very much for being with us. Really look forward to speaking to you right the way across the afternoon. But let's get the live action underway now. Our first event coming up shortly. It is the intermediate boys 400-metre hurdles. So let's head over to our commentators for the afternoon. That's Tim Hutchins, Mick Hill, and first of all, Alan Parry.
Thanks, John. Our coverage of the biggest schools athletics event in the world begins with the 400 metres hurdles, in which, of course, Great Britain has a long tradition of success, with the likes of David Hemery and Alan Pascoe winning major championship medals in years gone by. I wonder, could one of the youngsters on show today become the next British superstar? In lane 1, Byron Fitzgerald of Devon. Representing Oxfordshire, Peter Barnshaw goes in lane 2. In lane 3, Ben Kelk of Cambridgeshire. Surrey's Ben Parking runs in lane 4. Then in line 5, Ben Hopkins of Kent. In 6, it's Adam Collinson, Humberside. Simon Davis of Dorset is in lane 7, and George Granger, representing Sussex, completes the lineup in lane 8. Wearing number 21, Byron Fitzgerald, the Devon Schools champion. He's had a personal best of 56.24 in the heats. Next to him, from the Abingdon Athletic Club in Oxfordshire, Peter Barnshaw, 57.06, his best ever time. Ben Kelk wears number 10 in lane 3, runner-up in this year's Cambridgeshire Schools Championships. The Surrey Schools champion goes in lane 4, number 77, Ben Parkin, one of those expected to figure in the leading places here. The favourite, perhaps, wearing number 41 and running in lane 5, is Ben Hopkins of Kent, the fastest qualifier with a personal best of 55.34. And besides, Adam Collison is number 39. He also set a personal best in the heats, 56.18. In lane 7, in the green vest of Dorset, Simon Davis. And in lane 8, from Sussex, is George Granger, who also set his best ever time in the heats, 56.39. The opening event, live in our coverage of these magnificent championships here in the Don Valley Stadium, the home of the Sheffield Eagles Rugby League Club, the temporary home of Rotherham United Football Club, a stadium that was built some 18 years ago now for the World Student Games. As usual, the majority of the crowd, I'm sure, friends and relatives of the athletes, on a day that mercifully has been quite kind in terms of the weather so far. Together, it's been raining in many parts of the country, but not here in Sheffield. From the inside then, it's Fitzgerald, Devon, Barnshaw, Oxfordshire, Kelk, Cambridgeshire, Parkin, Surrey, Hopkins of Kent, number 41, lane 5, look out for him, the fastest qualifier, Collinson, Humberside, Davis of Dorset and Granger of Sussex. The intermediate boys 400 metres hurdles. Hopkins in lane 5, tall and rangy, ideally built for this man-killer event. A steady rather than spectacular start. And Parkin on his inside is going well at the moment. Also Kelk in lane 3, the Cambridgeshire athlete. But now Hopkins beginning to come through. Collinson in the amber and blue of Humberside out in lane 6, also running well. Maybe he's not going to have it all his own way here, Ben Hopkins, but he has the lead as they round the bend. But he's under pressure from behind. Ben Parkin in the yellow track shoes in lane 4, running well and closest to the leader at the moment. Hopkins safely over the penultimate hurdle. Parkin coming strongly on his inside. Hopkins has got it all to do still. Can Parkin catch him? He's getting closer, but Hopkins holds on for victory in 54.33 with Ben Parkin of Surrey second. Victory and the gold medal then to Kent's Ben Hopkins.
Well, what a weekend he's had, this young man. Alan, 55.34, a personal best in qualifying, and he's just smashed that by over a second there, unofficially, with that winning time. He took the race to the opposition, didn't he? From lane 5, Ben Hopkins. Marvellous run, but what a strong finish from Ben Parkin inside him. Another 10 or 15 metres of the track. I think the lad from Surrey might have got there. Very, very tight at the end there. Only about a metre in it, but a wonderful winning time, 54.33.
Ben Hopkins, the Kent Schools champion this year. Personal bests in both the heats and now, crucially, in the final, bring him victory. Well, this is known as an incredibly well-organised and disciplined event where they roll them off the track and then roll the next race on, Tim.
They do indeed, yes. Very little room for error here from the officials. Hundreds and hundreds of whom give up their time, of course, for an event like this. The senior boys 400-metre hurdles next up. The athletes out on the track, stripped off and ready.
But the winner of our first live event, Ben Hopkins, is now at trackside with Mark Richardson.
Well, Ben, you really confirmed your form. You were the fastest qualifier and you came home with a victory.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed that. Well, not really not to say. It's all I've wanted this year, really. Well, I wanted to go to Europeans, but after that, then it was this, and what else can I ask for, really?
And as you were coming down the home straight, the finish line beckoning, what was going through your mind?
I don't know, I didn't have anyone around me, so I knew I was going to get there and finally get what I've been wanting for years, really.
And what's this victory done for your self-belief?
I don't know, it's just fantastic, really. I don't know what to say. Really enjoyed it. And
Ben, that was awesome. Congratulations.
Breathless and overwhelmed, I'm sure we'll see those emotions quite a lot here today in Sheffield. Confirmation of the intermediate boys 400 metres hurdles final. Then the winner from Kent, Ben Hopkins, in a new personal best of 54.32, ahead of Ben Parkin of Surrey, 54.55. There must be something about the name Ben and this event. Another Ben Kelk of Cambridgeshire, took third place, 55.58.
Well, the lineup for the next event now, that is that senior boys 400-metre hurdles. And there we are. Jordan Aromasodu of London goes in lane 1. William Hartley for Surrey in 2. Then Nottingham's Tom Noakes in 3. Matthew Sumner of Devon goes in 4. Niall Flannery, the outstanding favourite from Northumberland, he goes in 5. And then in 6, Ashley Hill of Hereford and Worcester. And outside him, Nick Phelps for Cleveland in 7. Tom Parry completing the lineup in lane 8 for Surrey. Now, just looking down there, he is there, in fact, I think. Number 49, yes, Jordan Aromasodu. I thought he was absent, but there he is, the London boy. 54.08, his personal best, just outside 55 seconds in qualifying. An awful lot of these athletes running lifetime bests in qualifying at these championships. In lane 2 for Surrey, there's William Hartley on the Surrey Schools in 55.5, but set a new personal best in qualifying here, 55.2. Tough lanes though, these inside lanes for the hurdlers. Tom Noakes of Nottingham in lane 3. He ran 54.47 in qualifying, but he's a useful athlete. 53 seconds dead, his personal best. Matthew Sumner of Devon goes in lane 4. Not a bad lane draw that for the Devonian. A 54.24, his personal best. Only half a second or so off that in qualifying. It was tough qualifying. Not too many athletes able to hold back at that stage. There is Niall Flannery, the outstanding favourite from Northumberland, the fastest in qualifying with 54.2, and there's a chance that he could set a championship record, Flannery. Good draw for Flannery, 2 in 5. There's Ashley Hill from Hereford and Worcester. He set a personal best in qualifying, 54.62, and this in his first season over the barriers, so a very exciting prospect. Nick Phelps there was 13 for Cleveland. He's in lane 7. Personal best already this year when winning the Northern Under-20 Championships, and only about a second slower than that in qualifying. And finally Tom Parry there of Surrey in lane 8. Personal best in qualifying, 55.35. This is his first major season with focus on the 400-metre hurdles. Oh, the 8 athletes there. But outstanding favourite Niall Flannery in lane 5. Although we had a marvellous race just now, didn't we, in the intermediate boys, with Ben Hopkins winning by, well, about a stride from Ben Parkin inside him. That line up again then, Omosodu of London in 1, Hartley of Surrey in 2, Mokes of Nottingham 3, Devon Sumner in 4, Flannery the favourite in 5, Hereford's Hill in 6, Cleveland's Phelps in 7, Surrey's Parry in lane 8. Well, away they go. Tom Parry on the outside certainly got away very quickly. You can see him there, top of picture. He's got a couple of metres on the rest of the field, but look at Flannery in lane 5, into the back straight, and he's way up on the rest of the field already. He's tearing down that black straight stretch. Beautiful technician too, clearing those barriers well. He's probably 4 or 5 metres up on the rest of the field at halfway. Very, very smooth in those long white socks. Greatest influence on him, he says, has been Colin Jackson, and the technique has been taken on board as well. This lad's a Newcastle United supporter, so he's had a tough old winter, but my word, he's put the work in, because at 300 metres, he's got a lead of some 15 metres on this field. Watch the clock, he's chasing a championship record, 51.5. He's steaming away with this, going well in lane 3. Behind him is Tom Mokes for Nottingham. And Mokes in second place, coming through in third place, Matthew Sumner for Devon. But watch the clock there, 52 seconds dead for Niall Flannery. Fabulous running. It's almost a second outside his personal best. He really is world-class performer for his age, and that is a massive victory margin.
Well, talk about throwing down the gauntlet. I watched him throughout the race. He tore into the first 300 metres, and I think everyone in the stadium wondered if he was going to pay the price for that. He got over the penultimate hurdle all right, but watch this. I think he got his technique slightly wrong. It may have just been fatigue. He put so much into the first 300, but what a marvellous way to win a race. He's a real extrovert, this boy, and he's clearly a real talent as well.
Well, he was strong off the final barrier, so he can be very, very pleased with that. And you're right, Alan, he did make a real dog's dinner of that final barrier. 51.98 the time coming through to us, so he's under 52 seconds, just half a second off the championship record.
I mentioned before the previous race the likes of Emery and Pascoe from many years ago now. We haven't had anyone really to touch those heights since. I wonder if we're seeing a man who could do that in the years ahead. Well, we've had a terrific start to our live coverage of these English Schools Track and Field Championships here in Sheffield's Don Valley Stadium, and we'll be back shortly with more live athletics. Next on track is the 800 metres for intermediate girls. Don't go away.
On Sky Sports.
Incredible stuff!
Get the big games.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Every club, all live, all in stunning high definition. A new season on Sky Sports.
Need to keep an eye on your finances? Mobile banking from Lloyds TSB. Just one of the ways you can bank on us to help. Lloyds TSB, for the journey.
Our 7-year warranty makes every Kia Ceed future-proof.
At Wickes, we've designed a range of 24 luxurious bathrooms filled with innovative design features and made from superior quality materials. That's why we're proud to put our name on them. And now, they're available with 50% off. It's got our name on it. Wickes.
When you're going out in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? 118!
Welcome back to Sheffield and Sky Sports live coverage of the English Schools Track and Field Championships. Confirmation of the race we saw just before the break. Terrific win there for Niall Flannery of Northumberland in the senior boys 400 metres hurdles in a time of 51.98. Tom Mokes of Nottinghamshire second in 53.31. Devon's Matthew Sumner took third place, his time 53.49. We can hear from the winner now. He's with Mark Richardson.
Well, I'm here with Niall Flannery. That was a fantastic performance. Clearly you went in with aggressive tactics. How pleased are you with the performance?
I'm really, really pleased with the win. A bit disappointed I didn't get the championship record, but still a good time, and I mean, you can't be disappointed with a gold medal.
And you strike me as being a very confident young man. I was expecting you to be feeling some kind of pressure, but you just lapped it up.
Yeah, I mean, I try and get rid of the pressure by putting that sort of confident sort of face on. But I do feel pressure, and it doesn't affect me, but I do feel it. So putting the bit of confidence doesn't harm. So.
Okay, so this is a good block for your self-belief wall. And in terms of the European Championships coming up, how do you feel about that now?
I feel really, really confident. I'm going in second fastest, so I'll be disappointed if I don't come back with a medal. But I mean, obviously I'd like the gold.
Well, savour the moment. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done, Niall Flannery. I think we could be hearing quite a bit more from him in the years ahead. Start list now for our first live distance race, the intermediate girls 800 metres final. Grace Rogers of North Yorkshire, Jenny Beckingham of Hampshire, Katie Snowden of London, Georgia Bell also representing London, Mel Wood of Buckinghamshire, Alex Bell, West Yorkshire, Hannah Edwards, another London athlete, and Callie Thackeray of Derbyshire. Katie Snowden, wearing number 49, tops the UK rankings for the under-17 division with a personal best time of 2 minutes 7.1. She will be the favourite here. But this is a big occasion for all these athletes, and sometimes the tension of the occasion can get to them. Georgia Bell of London is pretty close to Snowden in terms of her best ever time, 2 minutes 8.81. Quite a London battle here, with three representing that area in this 800 metres intermediate girls final. On the inside, Rogers, North Yorkshire, Beckingham of Hampshire, Snowden starts in lane 3, the favourite, Bell of London, Wood, Buckinghamshire, Bell, West Yorkshire, Edwards of London, and Thackeray of Derbyshire. UK record and the English schools record, both held by Joe White, and have both stood since 1977. We stay in lanes, of course, for this first part of the race. Look out for, in the all black of London and wearing the blue shoes, because there are three athletes in the identical London outfit, Katie Snowden, who wears number 49. I understand she's quite a committed front runner, so she's likely to take up the pace early on, which indeed she is doing, alongside number 33 in the red vest, Jenny Beckingham of Hampshire. Georgia Bell right on Snowden's shoulder as well. Looks a fairly slowish pace, so we can expect a burn-up, I think, in the final 400 metres. But Snowden intelligently controlling it from the right place at the moment. No danger of getting boxed in. and no danger of anyone coming through on the inside.
Well, she's the best of the field, Snowdon, Katie Snowdon, by some margin now, and the mistake the others are making is letting her control the race here. They know she can run 2.7, several seconds quicker than most of them. They go through 400 metres, 64.97, a click inside 65 seconds, so it's quite a healthy pace. But if they wanted to mess up her race plan, somebody should have got around her and slowed it down a little bit prior to now.
Callie Thackeray, the blonde-haired athlete of Derbyshire, wearing 19, tried to do that, but Snowdon just held her off quite comfortably. And she still continues to control it from the front, looking cool and composed and very much in charge here, with a shade over 200 to go, just trying to stretch out now and beginning to lose the rest of the field. Katie Snowdon rounds the final bend. She hasn't shaken off the pack yet. And closest to her is Jenny Beckingham, the Hampshire athlete. Also coming through, 85 in the West Yorkshire kit of blue. Snowdon leads. 3 closing in on her, but a few strides behind. Bell is going to be the fastest finisher, and also Bell on the inside. 2 athletes called Bell here, but it's Snowdon who wins it in a time of 2 minutes 10.52. And really, that was a race that she had in her pocket from start to finish. Very impressive from Katie Snowdon of London.
Yes, she ran a very intelligent race indeed. They had the opportunity to mess up her plan early on. They didn't take it, and then once she was past the bell, she just gradually wound it up, gradually accelerated. Of course, it was a slower second lap, but relatively speaking, compared with the rest of them, she got quicker and quicker, and that's a very good challenge from the 3 athletes behind her. But she stretched her legs away. She's got a deceptively relaxed style, and she wins comfortably there. 2:10.52 unofficially to win by 3 or 4 metres. The battle for the minor medals, a very exciting one behind, but London 1 and 2.
Yeah, Hannah Edwards coming through to take second place in front of the West Yorkshire runner Alex Bell.
Well, the conditions very good indeed here in Sheffield. Slight breeze, I suspect, in the face of the athletes down the back straight. We'll try and find out more about conditions down on the track surface itself. But certainly it's a warm afternoon, almost muggy afternoon really, despite the fact that we've got 100% cloud cover. Conditions pretty good.
Okay, we can now hear from Katie Snowdon, who's with Mark Richardson trackside.
Well, Katie, that was an absolute masterclass. You really seem to impose your will on the field.
Yeah, thank you. I went according to plan, just to do the first lap steady and then kick at the end. So yeah, I was really pleased with that.
Now, in terms of the execution of the race, what kind of refinements can you take from that?
It's maybe a lot more confident and just go out there and not run anyone else's race and just stay steady and then just go for it. So.
And you've got the great ability to make it look so incredibly simple.
Thank you. I just keep working your way around and just go for it, yeah. Thank you.
Many congratulations.
Well, despite Mark Richardson's skills, I think some of these athletes are finding the interviews rather harder than the races, Tim.
It's to be expected, isn't it? First time on camera, you've got a microphone pushed in front of your face, and a win there for Katie Snowdon of London. 2:10.49 from Georgia Bell, her teammate. 2:11.21. Well, Alex Bell of West Yorkshire, third. 2:11.31. Well, the first sprint final of the day. 7 out of the 8 young athletes in this race ran personal bests in the heats. It's the junior boys 100 metres. The UK record and championship record owned by one Mark Lewis Francis, an Olympic gold medalist. There's the lineup: Breno Duarte Moral of Hampshire in 1, Ibrahim Abdul Karim of London in 2, then his teammate Finn Nightingale in 3, David Pratt of Surrey in 4, Jamie Wilkes of the West Midlands in 5, in lane 6 a Middlesex man, Anthony Jeffrey, then Anthony Daly of London in 7, and Ryan O'Sullivan of Essex completing the lineup in lane 8. Well, there is number 33, Breno Duarte Moral of Hampshire. 11.52 in his heat. That was a personal best for him. Ibrahim Abdul Karim of London, London Schools Championship 6th placer. He too setting personal best in his heat. He's in 2. Then Finn Nightingale goes in 3. Another London man. Very strong southern representation in this one. 11.38 in his heat. And then one of the favourites, wearing 77, David Pratt of Surrey. tops the UK under-15 rankings, the fastest in qualifying too. In lane 5 beside him from the West Midlands, another of the favourites, the second fastest in qualifying. James Wilkes this is, 11:34, a personal best in his heat. In lane 6 wearing 53. Anthony Jeffrey of Middlesex, another personal best in his heat, 11.42. These lads really have raised their game for these championships. Great to see them responding, all these young athletes, so positively to the nerves, to the adrenaline. In lane 7, Anthony Daly, another London man, 11.53 in his heat. That was a personal best. And the lineup completed with an Essex man, Ryan O'Sullivan this is, in his heat, 11.46, only 3/100ths of a second off his lifetime best. This promises to be very, very tight indeed, this race. We've got 7 men at least really on top of their game. Well, I don't think we'll see the championship record of Marc Louis France's threatened here. 10.93 he ran 12 years ago. It really was a phenomenal performance from the West Midlands man. But the favourites, David Pratt in 4 for Surrey, and a West Midlands athlete in lane 5, James Wilkes. Watch them. And this will be the first good indication of what conditions are like down on the track. With the sprinters coming from our left down to the finish line right in front of us. We've got a wonderful commentary position just above the finish line. And the favourites once again, Pratt of Surrey in lane 4, James Wilkes of West Midlands in lane 5. Well, away first time, very good start there from James Wilkes in the red there in lane 5. Wilkes leading at the moment and nobody trying to get with him. Coming back on the near side going well, Ryan O'Sullivan, Essex, but Wilkes leading at the moment and he's going to take this one. He does indeed, coming through late there on the far side. I think that might have been Morale of Hampshire in lane 1. But no doubting the winner in 11.33 there in that red strip of West Midlands. James Wilkes is English schools champion. And I'll tell you what, he led out of the blocks and the rest of them were playing catch up from the word go, and he didn't give them a chance, didn't give them a sniff. If anything, he built on that early lead and it was a very, very impressive run indeed.
Well, great sprinters come in all shapes and sizes, don't they? They're tall and powerfully built. And then men like James Wilkes, who used his low centre of gravity and his devastating start to great effect here, held on to the line to pull off a very impressive victory here. Probably the smallest man physically in the field, but the quickest.
Very, very tight on the line behind him. 11.33, if confirmed, is a new personal best for James Wilkes. But gosh, trying to separate second, third and fourth from that, even that slow-mo shot, virtually impossible. Well, John is with the winner there, or with James, with Jason Gardner, who will have been a very interested spectator of that one.
Yes, that junior boys 100 metres, Jason Gardner, was billed as one of the most exciting events of the day, and it certainly didn't disappoint.
It didn't at all. I mean, James Wilkes just dominated straight away from as soon as the bang went. He was out the blocks and he was in a very commanding position, didn't get tight, and as you can see at the finishing line, the expression on his face was he wanted it more than anybody.
Now, there were clearly a number of super talented